300 rands, which was equivalent to about 10 euros in those days, was all that I had when I started my first creative business, Yawa Creations. Sounds crazy, right? Let me tell you exactly how I made it work. So I'm gonna just give you a backstory to what led me to start the business. It was in 2003 and I was a single mother. My children were about 1.5 years old. For those who don't know, I have 2 sons, which are now 22 years old, and my sons are born in the same year. The older one is born in January, and then another one is born the same year in October. I'm an artist. I was a single mother and I had just stopped working. I used to work at Telkom as a business customer representative and had relocated from Johannesburg to Cape Town, and then I fell pregnant in 2001, and then in 2002 I had my children. And after taking maternity leave with the second one, I decided to stop working and to find myself. I had this desire to do something with creativity, especially music, but I really just needed to navigate my life. And being a single mother is tough because my kids were both small and it really just felt like I had twins.
I also had postnatal depression, which didn't help the situation.
So I had talked to my parents and also some of my cousins who lived close to my mother's house. I explained the situation, that I need help from the family because I stopped working to be able to start my own business, and I wasn't sure exactly how I would navigate everything, but I knew that I needed a lot of help from them. And so my parents agreed that my sons could go to a crash in Montana and that I could come and go and just try to figure things out. I also had my cousins. They were really godsend because they selflessly helped me raise my children during those couple of years when I needed assistance. They would babysit whenever I'm not available, when I had gigs. I know that my younger son used to cry a lot because he was so attached to me, and he liked my mother and other cousins of mine. It was 3, and I just joined as a backing singer and dancer. We had some gigs, but it wasn't enough to raise 2 children. I did get maintenance from the father, but it wasn't enough. And so I was also really independent, and I wouldn't want to force anybody to contribute if they were not in the position to do it. So I decided that I'm gonna hustle for my children. I remember one time I was walking in Long Street and I just had 300 rands in my bank account. I had no savings. I had property in Goodwood. I had an apartment in Goodwood. It was a 1-bedroom apartment, but because I was unemployed, I couldn't take care of the bond on my own. So I rented it out to some friends and family. I was homeless, sometimes staying at my parents' house and sometimes at my cousin's house, who were helping me look after my children. I remember walking in Long Street, feeling so overwhelmed and like really a bit depressed, and I just started with Tuke and I wasn't earning much, but I knew that something had to change. And remember, I walked across this shop with big windows, like so many colorful beads and accessories, and it was a big store. It was the Bead Merchants in Long Street. and I really had to go inside. I met the nicest staff members in the shop and just went around. I was like a child in a candy or toy store. These textures, and I've never seen a bead shop before. I didn't even know such shops existed. I went around so overwhelmed. I just would ask, what are these beads? My interest or my eye gravitated towards the glass beads and the seed beads. And then I thought, okay, I think I want to make earrings. So I asked one of the staff to show me how to make earrings, just a basic drop earring. She showed me how and took me around to all the supplies. She showed me, okay, these are called jump rings, these are called eye pins, head pins, etc. And then I also asked, what supplies do I need to make earrings? They showed me the different kinds of pliers, the round nose pliers, the cutting pliers. They showed me how to make a simple earring, and I practiced a bit and I thought, okay, I can do this. I had 300 rands and I just spent all of that 300 rands, not even knowing how I'm gonna have food for the next week. All I know is that I had to take a leap of faith. So then I went home and started creating earrings, different kinds of earrings. I think I created about 100 pairs. The inspiration was just overflowing. The next time I had a rehearsal with Toucan, I showed these earrings to my female colleagues, which was Muriel Marco, Mimi Charlie, and Ragnar Hilt Tibet. They were excited. One of them bought like 40 pairs of earrings, other one bought like 20, another one bought like 15. I sold each pair for 10 rand. So I sold about 90 pairs of earrings, so which was about 900 rands. So from 300 rands, I had about 900 rands, because the other 10 I gave to my cousins and my mother. It was a great way to promote my new brand. And even that time I didn't have a brand name. All I knew was that these are earrings made by Yolanda Yawa. From the profits, I invested back into the business. I bought more beads, leather offcuts, and anything to make these earrings unique. Sometimes I would also use upcycled materials, things like bottle caps, peach seeds, and shells from the beach. I'm really like the kind of person, maybe some people will label me as being a cheapskate, but all I know is that someone's trash could be my treasure. So I would take anything that I could use, of course, clean it up, to make the earrings unique. My band colleagues said, hey, we have some friends giving us compliments on these earrings. So how about you come during a certain time, and then we'll organize like a few of them, like 10 or 15 of them, to meet in a canteen, and you can bring what you have. And so I had my first meeting to sell my earrings, and they bought almost everything. I was really excited because I didn't know that this business could pick up as quickly as that. And that time it was like really no social media. Yeah, I think we had Blackberries or something. My business grew from word of mouth. So I saw that this system works. Then what I would do, I would walk around town And when I'm walking, if I spot a lady that is beautiful and dressed nicely, I would go to them and say, "Hi, my name is Yolanda Yawa, and I'm a designer." Yes, I labeled myself as a designer already. I said, "I'm a designer, and I think you are so beautiful. I love the way you dress, but I think what you're missing is something that will accentuate your beauty and your outfits, which are my accessories." And then I would say I design accessories like earrings, and then I would show them what I make. I remember one time I moved out. I was staying with my children. I remember I didn't have money to buy bread, but all I knew is that I have my skills, my talents, and my gifts. And I made a pair of earrings, and then I met this one lady, Usisola, in town in Plain Street. I sold myself, and then I said, "Okay, these are the earrings." And then I sold that pair of earrings for 50 Rand. And I really just thought, "Oh God, you have my back." So I asked her, "Where do you work?" And she said, "I work at the Woolworths head office in town." And then I said, "Do you think your colleagues would like to buy some of my accessories?" And she said, "Yeah." And then she asked me, "Do you also make necklaces?" I didn't, but of course I said, "Yes, yes, I do make matching necklaces." Now, I don't know how to make necklaces. When I was younger, I used to upcycle beaded necklaces from my mother, but I didn't have these tools now that I've been using to make earrings. So anyway, I always had this motto, "I'm gonna fake it until I make it." So I said, "Yes, of course I can make." And at the time, there was also the hype with Stone Cherry and Sun Goddess. These companies really paved the way for inspiration in terms of making unique jewelry. I remember I bought a magazine, I think it was a drum magazine, and I came across all these different accessories and also the clothing with the colors. Their designs were really unconventional. I know Sun Goddess, some of the designs were Asian inspired. I really loved that. Of course, I had my own voice, but in the beginning stages, some of my accessories were inspired by these two brands. I don't believe in copying. I just like to be inspired, and then I put my own take on my designs and everything. Then I started to have all these different meetings. They started at Woolworths, and then there was word of mouth, and then someone was like, "Oh, my friend works in," I don't know the name of the company now. And so I went to companies like Sanlam, Old Mutual, also some clients at Telkom where I used to work. All my ex-colleagues were now my clients, and different branches, but I was still a one-man show. I was starting to make money. I could pay rent. I could buy my kids nicer clothes. I could pay for their school fees and put them in good schools. I was like so chuffed with how, but of course there was still sometimes challenges, especially now I have all these orders and I'm a one-man show, and then I thought, okay, I need help. So by this time my kids were about 6, 7. They went to a school in Cape Town. My music career was progressing because now I was in Coda and I was earning more money with gigs. When you earn more money, you get a more expensive apartment. I took my kids to it as a private school because I wanted to live in the center. I had sold my house a few years back when I was unemployed. Then my house was almost repossessed, so I opted to sell it at a price that was cheaper than my bond balance, and it sold quick. And then I just had about 25,000 rands debt with the bank to pay off. Then I started to rent apartments. When I had moved to another apartment, I had a nanny because I was performing a lot with Coda. The nanny was a stay-in nanny and had a boyfriend. After some time, she started being unreliable because she wanted to spend more time with her boyfriend. Luckily for me, she used to sometimes invite her niece. She was 14 and a half at the time and struggling in school because she had dyslexia, but she was never diagnosed. I could see her potential because she used to help me make beads and everything. I thought, okay, how about I train her to help me with making the beads and accessories? And so I did. I really saw that she was good. And then I was like, but I still have the issue with my nanny. And so I spoke to the nanny and I said, because she also wanted to travel, how about you stop working for me? Then we ask your aunt, Zikona can stay with us. She liked the idea. I spoke to Zikona's mom and I said, my kids are a little bit older now. They can take care of themselves, but I need somebody who will stay with them during the night when I go to work. And okay, so the family agreed, and then the agreement was that I'm gonna take care of her education, and then she's gonna help me with my children. And she used to go to a school in Khayelitsha, but she had failed the grade about 3 times. I knew she was not stupid because I saw how talented she was. I said to her parents, it's better that she stops going to this school. There was an outreach program by CPUT, or it used to be Cape Technicon at that time, and we lived close to where the program was being run. They were running a skills training and mentorship program focused on sewing, especially leather, which was a plus because I came across it when I wanted to buy leather offcuts, and so they accepted her into the program. She was there for about 6 months learning how to sew, and me on the side, I'm teaching her how to make beads and accessories. And around that time, I had one client who wanted a skirt. My clients, I would order custom accessory sets. I never repeated my designs. If someone saw this one design, and I would just make a customized one inspired by the design that they saw. Maybe they say, okay, we're gonna order these accessories from you and look for an outfit to match. But one of my clients, her name is Umoniswa, was like, don't you also make clothing? What did I say? Of course I do. So she wanted a skirt because then she could wear like a white top or a t-shirt. So then I designed this skirt for her, and she wanted the accessories to be yellow, black and white. So then I said, okay, I will make a yellow and black fishtail skirt, which was more fitted on the waist and hip to accentuate her beautiful form. And then I showed her the design and found a tailor. The tailor made the skirt, and then I went to her for a fitting. The skirt fitted like a glove. I even taught myself how to take measurements. Then I decided, okay, I'm gonna make a beaded and twine detail on the skirt, which I knew that this would be my signature. And to date, it's still my signature. Yeah. So then I did this, and it was really a hit. By this time, I was making earrings, necklaces, beaded and leather bracelets. Sometimes I would make small bags to put the accessories in as a gift, and head wraps. It was really exciting. Sometimes when you have too much creativity flowing, then you want to, okay, what's the next step? What's the next step? And also, the music thing was going really great. We launched our debut album with Coda in 2006, and I designed the accessories for Coda, which was grand for the photo shoots. From the photo shoot, I started to design accessories and some clothing pieces for our performances. I was like, now I've added stylist onto my name. This was really great, and my designs were also featured on O magazine. I think I had a certain relationship with money from a young age, which is something I will discuss in another episode. There are some habits that I needed to unlearn to be able to have this business as a profitable business. I liked the growth of the business and I needed more help because I also felt maybe I should hire somebody who's gonna sew. I bought sewing machines. I had people to produce my clothing and designs, but mostly with accessories. Accessories, I mostly did them on my own, but I did get some help because I really wanted each and every order to be special and one of each as well. From there, I got a kiosk at the Old Mutual in Pinelands, and that also grew my clientele. And with that, then I got more people because the demand was more. It started off good when I had more seamstresses and people that would help me with beads and doing the detail, working according to my sketches. Because I wanted to support our people, most of the people that worked for me were my people, which is good because you are empowering people from disadvantaged backgrounds. But also the negative part was that because of my personality, I'm a buddy kind of boss, which is actually one of my cons. It works against me when it comes to professionalism of my staff, because now I'll be like, oh, I cannot come today because my friend's sister's child just had a baby, so they need somebody to help them. And meanwhile, I have like orders. I'm working on a deadline. And when I'm not there, when I'm like maybe performing, then I find that the quality of the product that is being created is not make sure anymore.
Is not make sure. A popular South African slang term to say that something is not good, not convincing, and overreach or delusional at the worst.
Yeah, I just felt that the quality was not up to standard, so some things had to be discarded. I take accountability for this because I want people to feel at home. When I work with my employees, I want them to feel like we are part of a big family. I'm too nice, which is something that I'm still working on because I just feel like it's just following me everywhere in each and every business. And I need to find a balance that I have humility, but that people don't take my being nice or my kindness as a weakness. Yeah, to wrap things up, things that I've learned or mistakes that I've made in this whole journey of studying my business, Yawa Creations, was mainly the production challenges and me being too friendly with my employees and not immediately putting my foot down and making sure that they understand that I'm not running a charity and that quality is key, and also let go of people when they are not delivering. But at least there is so much positivity that has happened, the growth, moving from studying the business from 300 rands into it. To me, being a stylist, being featured in magazines and television programs like Top Billing, and also getting a kiosk to sell my products from. Word of mouth is key, which is why one always needs to aspire to create a great quality product, because people will talk. 2007 or 8. That's when I started my own website, which was a gift from my boyfriend. He gifted me a website and a logo. He had a friend that was a graphic designer. I sat down with her, which was when my logo with the no-haired girl and a big earring was birthed. I still have this logo, and I don't think I will ever change it because it represents where I started, and it will always be like a reminder how I started. And starting own business, what I've learned is that you need to have passion, and then you need to have discipline. You always need to find different strategies to sell your business and come up with new ideas. Don't be scared to take a leap of faith. What's nice about starting something when you've got nothing to lose, you just put everything in there. And I started when I was already struggling, and I just felt like I have nothing to lose. And by taking that leap of faith, a beautiful brand was birthed. So many people have my designs. To this day, people share photos. They'd be like, oh, we got this 20 years ago from you and it's still intact. Oh my gosh. For me, because I put quality first, like that is so satisfying to see all those designs. Throughout my 24 years of having Yawa Creations, I've since changed the name to Yolanda Yawa Creations. It's now evolving again because I've gone into reworking stuff. So now I'm mainly using Casigo. So what I've learned throughout this process is that if you have an idea, you want to start a business, you want to start a creative business, don't think about, I don't have this. Look around your house, ask around with your friends, check what is there. Once you know what kind of business or product you want to make, just start somewhere. If you want to make accessories but you don't have a big budget, go to a thrift store or secondhand store, buy broken or secondhand accessories, break them down. Maybe there's somebody around where you are that has tools you can borrow, or you can say, okay, I will clean your space once a week or something, and then in return I can maybe use your space to make my creations. Come up with creative ways and don't think about, oh, this is what I have to buy. Just start somewhere. Even if you just start with one earring, sell it. If somebody likes it, they will tell their friends, and then the money you get, reinvest it in the business. Yeah, it's very important to reinvest your profits into the business. If I can do it with just 300 rands, so can you.